Our other big story, the criminal trial of Alec Baldwin is underway in New Mexico. Doug Fernandez is live at the Santa Fe County Courthouse where opening arguments took place earlier today. Doug.
That's right, Shelley. 12 jurors listened to opening statements, and the prosecution's first witnesses, Brianna Albizu, highlights the strategies presented on both sides.
Both the prosecution and defense addressing a big question that's been on many people's minds. Did Baldwin pull the trigger?
You will learn that prior to arriving on the set to work, he requested to be assigned the biggest gun available.
According to prosecutors, Alec Baldwin didn't take proper precautions when it came to handling the alleged gun, or even with the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed.
He did not do a safety check with that inexperienced armorer. And you'll hear that the reason he didn't do a safety check is because he didn't want to offend her.
The team even addressing the possibility of a faulty firearm, including testing from the FBI.
The evidence will show, however, that before this accidental discharge testing by the FBI, this gun functioned and worked perfectly fine.
But the defense claims Baldwin is just an actor.
This was an unspeakable tragedy, but Alec Baldwin committed no crime. He was an actor. The actor's job is to act, to rehearse, to choreograph his moves, to memorize his lines.
Who didn't know about how the scene would later unfold.
No one had any idea that this venomous, toxic element had been inserted into this magic they were creating, but it did.
Now, opening statements soon led up to witnesses on the stand. My colleague Faith Abuanu has more on who we saw today. Faith.
Yes, Ryan, a few witnesses taking the stand today detailing the chaotic aftermath. The courtroom packed as jurors looked on. Alec Baldwin calm and attentive. The actor charged with involuntary manslaughter for the death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. A live round discharging from his prop gun on set. First witness called to the stand, former Santa Fe County Sheriff's Deputy Nicholas LaFleur, the first officer to arrive on scene. The Sheriff's Office criticized for their handling of the investigation, something prosecutors brought up right away before the defense got to it.
Was Mr. Baldwin supposed to be talking about the incident?
No, ma'am.
Does he appear to be doing it anyway?
Yes, ma'am.
When you tell people not to talk about the incident, do you have an expectation that they'll follow your instructions?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it look like they're following your instructions?
No, ma'am.
Baldwin's defense attorney saying otherwise, doubling down on LaFleur.
Do you think it's a fair, honestly, sir, a fair characterization to this jury to say that Mr. Baldwin was disobeying police orders at the scene?
He was given an order, but I didn't repeatedly tell him not to. That was on my bad.
Followed by 911 calls of a, quote, accidental shooting.
A Bonanza Creek Ranch has had 2 people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop gun.
Baldwin's attorney standing firm that everyone thought it was an accident.
I took it as the way how everybody was acting and that the individual who claimed to have been holding the firearm was still there, that there was no, the way he was, his demeanor was that there wasn't any intention behind the act, as you could say, you know.
Yes.
You made that statement, correct?
Yes.
And our anchor, Doug Fernandez, is out here with us as well, talking with our legal expert, John Day. Doug.
John, I know you've been watching the trial, basically every minute of it throughout the day. What do you think of the defense opening remarks to the jury?
So the defense really had to convince this jury that this was a film set, this was not real life, that there's no way that Alec Baldwin should be held responsible for what came out of a gun when, in his mind, according to the defense, this was simply a prop on a set and very unlike life in the real world. That's what they had to show the jury.
Now, prosecutors called their first witnesses, including first responders. What do you think of that move?
Well, the prosecutors have to lay a foundation. They have to put the building blocks together of their case so that they can tell the jurors this is how it began, and these are the law enforcement witnesses, these are the people who were on the scene. This is sort of a lot of dry facts. And some of them are very disturbing, but these are the facts of the case. Prosecutors are telling the jury this is how this story began.
All right, John, thank you for your expert analysis. We'll be back with us one more time coming up on Action 7 News at 6. Now, we also spoke with the attorney representing the family of Halyna Hutchins and the outcome they would like to see in that trial behind me.
Halyna's father, Anatoly, has said And this was in his victim impact statement that I read at the sentencing of Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer, who was convicted of involuntary manslaughter of Helena. He said that he would like to see everyone who may be responsible for the death of Helena have to face the consequences. So we'll look forward to seeing what the evidence proves in this case. But they do want to know the truth of what happened.
And stay with KOAT for the very latest developments on Alec Baldwin's criminal trial. We are streaming it live on KOAT.com, our app, and also the Very Local app. We will have team coverage every day of these proceedings.